Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
What is up, my Jestys, besties, my Jesticles, the Jest audience there is. Welcome back. It is Thursday, so you know what that means. We're here to do the gloving thing. We've got with us, of course, the brand new, not released yet to the public, still in beta, Vortex glove set. And today we are going to be programming one of the default modes for the Vortex glove set. And by we, I mean, of course, Shane is going to be programming the default modes because I know nothing about programming. He's the brilliant one. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we start that, I actually have someone else who would like to say hello to you. So we're going to bring in, for starters, we're going to bring in our boy, the one and only Ice Cream Tedward. Hello, Tedward. Welcome to the stream. Now, there's a reason.
What's up?
There's a reason we're bringing you on today, and that reason has to do with everybody and their brother in the gloving community wanting something to do, right? Everybody wants something to do, and I think we might have something for that. So, what is it that we've got planned?
Well, on March 1st, 2020, You Got Moves threw their hat into the ring on organizing live event competitions with the Four Kingdoms Collide at the Globe Theater in Los Angeles. This year, on August 13th, we will be returning to Los Angeles for the Global Gloving Gauntlet.
Global Gloving Gauntlet! The G3 event! God, that sounds great. That is such a better name than 4KC. I'm sorry, but G3? That is so catchy. The Global Gloving Gauntlet, and Gauntlet is another word for glove, too? Are you kidding me? Fire. Alright, listen, if you are in the stream, smash the like button, share the stream, let everybody know that we are about to be doing the next IGC-esque event, the next opportunity for you to travel to the Mecca of Gloving and get all of the trades, all of the light shows, all of the hanging out with the glovers of your dreams. So, Global Gloving Gauntlet, the Global Gloving Gauntlet. Say that 3 times fast.
Global Gloving Gauntlet? Global Gloving Gauntlet? Just kidding. We're not going there.
We might just summon Bloody Mary out of the mirror if we say it the 3rd time. So
yeah, let's not do that.
Like I said, go ahead and smash the like button if you haven't already. Share the stream and tell everybody that there's going to be a next big thing gloving. So, what else are we doing in preparation for this Global Gloving Gauntlet?
So, obviously, it's still very early right now. I can tell you, as I said, it is August 13th, and it is in Los Angeles. And I cannot announce the venue yet, but I do have the contract in hand. So as soon as I sign and pay the deposit, I will be able to announce the venue for you guys. We will be keeping up all updates in our Discord. So you can go to yougotmoves.com/Discord. And you can immediately join our server. It is now public. We are no longer just hosting lessons in here. We will be having events in here. We will be having monthly or weekly get-togethers, depending on coach's availability. We'll be bringing in guests that are both glovers and non-glovers. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff online in the process. And the most important thing we are going to be doing is updating everyone on the G3, including how to get one of the 48 competitor tickets that will be available. along with the 12 contender slots that will also be available, bringing it to a total of 60 glovers. Last time we filled the competition and we had glovers from 13 different states of the U.S. entering our competition, so I would very much like to break that record next time.
So it's going to be a two-prong competition, an open and a contender, right?
No, not necessarily. It's the same structure as 4KC because I really enjoyed how that worked out.
Well, that's what I mean. Is didn't the open the 48?
Let me finish. So what I'm asking, what I'm saying is, the contenders are simply added to the fourth round. They're just inserted, but they are also only, they are also going to be half of the contenders. So when the 12 contenders enter at round 4, there will still be 12 survivors left from the initial 48, and they will all merge and converge into round 4 of the bracket.
Interesting. So they just get injected. Yes. They get to skip the plebe rounds. They say we're good enough. We're just gonna go on. That sounds cool.
Well, and it also allows for people to not face Megasloth first round and then be one and done.
Yeah, there's reason to fear that. Okay, I've been there, done that. It's not fun. It's not fun.
I also know what it's like to lose to that guy. It's not fun. If it happens, it's fun. It happens, it's okay. But
honestly,
round 1,
he is a fun person to lose to because getting that show at a competition is pretty gnarly. So that being said,
it didn't happen to me in live. It happened to me online. So I didn't even get the benefit of the Megasloth show.
Never mind. That's not fun. getting the L in person, at least you get the show out of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. At least give me the consolation. But as far as prizes go, you can bet we're definitely giving away another championship title belt for the Global Gloving Gauntlet.
100%. The gloving belt. All right.
We're not doing one of these guys. We're not doing one of these little. No, we're not doing that. We're given a full title belt. And of course we'll give away some cash prizes, and we'll probably end up doing some custom jerseys as well, since we're dipping our in that space quite a lot.
We kind of be doing custom jerseys, so if you need custom jerseys, we know where to get some.
And if you do get your jerseys done through us, please note that you are directly funding the G3 because the the cost of that event is going to be north of $10,000. Being going to be very transparent about that. So we definitely need to raise that money, and I don't want to take your money, but I will happily fulfill your needs and sell you and get your team jerseys done and everything, and you can get your gloves from us, get some lessons from us. Like, we got a big event to pay for, and we're happy to do it.
We need your help. We definitely need your help.
Yeah, we do need your help.
YouGotMoves.com/gloves/handbook/Discord. Take a look take a look at the merch. Take a look at all that stuff. We got the things, and we're about to bring the rings, I guess. I don't know. The belt, whatever. It rhymed. We're going with it.
Bring the rings. I like bring the rings. That's a good one. I like that.
Alright, so that's about all we have to say about the G3, if I'm not mistaken. If there's anything else you want to mention before we move on, now is the time.
Yeah, sure. I will mention that that beyond this conversation here today, the way to stay most updated is not to DM me or Josh, but to join the YouGotMoves Discord.
Join the Discord.
And then, yes, so again, that's YouGotMoves.com/Discord.
It is pinned in the chat, so just take a look.
Perfect. I see it. I see it there. Yeah,
it's at the top of the chat. Go ahead and join the Discord. Go ahead and smash the like button, share the stream if you haven't already. We are about to get into the programming with our boy Shane. So thank you for stopping by, Tedward. And I think we'll have you. I think we'll have you come and show us some of your light show fingers at some point in the next coming weeks.
May or may not still do things. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I think you still do things. All right, very cool, Tedward. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys.
And next up, we have the boy, Shane, the smart one, the wizard, with the code. All right, so let's tell these people how we planned out this little mode. For some background, guys, the mode that we're building is a mode that only exists in my heart and on one glove set. It was 2 glove sets, but the other glove set got broken, unfortunately. But one glove set, a modified Chroma 36 set that doesn't have a second mode as hyperstrobe, because I hate hyperstrobe. It has the second mode as jest mode, and what jest mode consists of is 3, well, not 3, but it consists of very, very small flashes. That's like the shortest possible flash of light, and also the shortest possible gap. So basically, every time you stick a color next to it, they basically almost overlap, like it looks like almost like a 3D, like one of those 3D pictures with when you don't have your glasses on, if that makes sense. So yeah, so we're gonna recreate that and have that as a default mode on the Vortexes, except with a bonus of a blink mode on the tips or on the tops as well. So the tips are gonna have the jest mode, and the tops are gonna have the blink mode.
Oh,
right.
Okay. I didn't write it down like that, but we can give it a shot.
We can give it a shot. All right, we can make that happen. All right, so it's going to be it's going to be essentially a sequence mode, but it's going to use the same colors on both sequences, on both tips and tops.
I think technically that it would make it a hybrid mode because none of the lights are moving.
Okay.
That's one of our weird new terms because
I still got to get used to all these terms.
Of course, everyone's gonna have to learn them over time.
Right.
But yeah, a sequence would pertain to any mode that has an effect happening on one finger or one pixel and then moving to another pixel and then continuing. That's going in a sequence. Whereas a hybrid is just taking different pixels at the same time and doing different things simultaneously without any movement.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it'd basically be a hybrid. For sure be a hybrid because the way it would work is it's gonna have one flash pattern on the tops, one flash pattern on the tips, and it's just going to be the same colors. So,
totally.
So, we have already here. So the thing about jest mode and what I actually told you to do is an upgrade. What I wanted, instead of having it be just a bunch of colors grouped together as close to possible, I wanted another gap every third color. Right?
Yes.
And that's what that's what we built out here is a gap every third color. But it doesn't restart the bundle. It doesn't restart the grouping, right? It inserts the next color. So if you have, for example, 7 colors in a row, or 8 colors in a row, or 5 colors in a row, any amount of colors that isn't an even 3-6, it's going to start rebundling those colors in a weird pattern. So this is what we're building. This is the goal here. And let's see what we've got so far.
Well, so there's a few ways we can do this. If we're just trying to do like a walkthrough of how it's made, we could do it that way. That would be a little quicker. Or if we were trying to do like kind of a tutorial style thing where this is how you would go about making it, we'd probably need to establish some like fundamentals first. Like maybe first we build ribbon, then we turn it into strobe, and then we build jest mode.
I think that might be a little more in depth than we can really get into right now. Let's go over what's been done, what we did. Let's go over the timings. What you did.
Sure,
I keep saying we, but it's really you. You're the one who's doing the work.
I like we. I like sharing. I'm good at that.
You're very good at sharing your toys, but you don't have to share the credit here. That's for sure.
we all put effort into it, and that's what's important, and because that's what makes it good. Because if it was just me, it wouldn't be as good. I promise.
Well, you certainly did the work necessary for the hardware, and you've put in so much work getting people's opinions on what would make good software. So I think I think realistically, there is definitely, you're right that it has been a certain amount of team effort, but you're obviously the leader in this situation. So.
Well, I appreciate the credit and the kudos. It's all very nice.
You're doing the Lord's work. So, where should I pull up? Should I click on this one? What does this say?
Sure, yeah. Right now I'm streaming my window with the code, and everything right here is what I've written so far for Jest mode. I can walk us through it really quick. It's gonna be a little bit of technicalese, you know, like some alien language for a lot of people.
Do the best you can, and honestly, don't dumb it down too much, because if people understand, they understand, and if they don't, they don't. That
sounds good. I'm not gonna really go into syntax and that much, because that's really kind of technical, and it's more like the punctuations and formatting of code. So if you know C or any variation of C, C++, C#, then you kind of get it. If you don't, then that's somewhere you'll need to learn on your own. But besides that, I'll go over the actual content. So I'll just go from the top to the bottom for the way you'd read it. So for the first thing I do is I establish this variable called count. It's right here. It's an integer, which is why it says int right here, and it's static. Now, by making a static integer, this is a little complicated, but basically anytime you create a new variable, like if I say int count, it always gets reset and rebuilt. And next time it reads that line, it destroys it and recreates it. We don't want that, because we want to keep track of our count. Every time it reads it, we want it to remember where it was. And that's what the static variable does. The reason we have this count variable is this is the magic sauce that allows us to group the bundles of 3. Just like you said was for the specific timings. Because what we've got is we've got like flash, flash, flash with tiny gaps, and then a long gap. And then the next 3 colors, flash, 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 and then a long gap. This count variable is keeping track of where we are out of 3, because you want to do 3 flashes per group.
Right.
So the next part here is these 2 lines, this if on and if not on. Basically, it's just checking a Boolean, which is a true or false value, to see if we're on the lights on phase or the lights off phase, like flash on, flash off type thing. So the first time we run it, let's say it's on, it will get the current color in our cycle, which is whichever color slot out of 8 we left off on. It'll start at the first color slot. Then it'll set all the LEDs, which is, it says 0 through 27, but that's just kind of coincidental. There's only 9 LEDs. This is kind of making space for future LEDs. But yeah, so it's just setting all the LEDs on, and then it's setting the duration to 3. We can skip this loop for now, because this is what happens when on is false. Right now on is true, so it's only going to run this half of the loop. Then we're going to skip past this, and we're going to go straight to the timer. This is where all the timing is kept. We have a little equation here that checks the clock against how much time has passed, and it sees if that has passed our duration value, which we just recently set to 3 up here. So basically, this line checks to see if 3 milliseconds have passed. If 3 milliseconds have passed, then it does the rest of this stuff. The first thing it does, it flips the on from true to false. That's what this line does right here. And then, if it just flipped on to false, if on is currently false, it will index the color, so it'll queue our color slot 1 to go to color slot 2, so it knows that the current color next time it asks is slot 2 rather than the previous one. It will increment our count variable, which is this guy up here. It'll let us know that we've now added 1 to our bundle out of 3. And then it checks to see if we've gone past the 3 count and resets it back to 0 if we have. Then it resets the timer, so it's able to time again. Then it will run the loop a second time, because that was the first blink. It went from here to here, and then it loops back around to the top. Now on is false. It'll say, if not on, we'll go do this loop now. It clears all the lights, so now we have blank. it sets the duration to 5 instead of 3. So now we have a longer gap than we had the on time. And if the count is 0, which is what happens once we reach the third count of the third strobe in the color bundle, it instead overwrites the duration from 5 to 100 if the count is just reset. So that's pretty much all the instructions to make strobe off, strobe, long gap, and then pick up in the color set where we left off. So if there's 3 colors, it'll just look like the same thing over and over again. But if there's 4 or more, or 2 or less, it'll create interesting chopped up patterns. That's pretty much it.
Wild.
Yeah.
That is some authorship. That's some artistry right there. Some creative accounting, as they say.
Well, that's right now. Yeah, that it's working. I tested it, and it is set to have the blinking duration to be 3 milliseconds, the gap between the blinks to be 5 milliseconds, and then the long gap after a set of 3 to be 100 milliseconds. I don't think that's what you were looking for, but that was just the random variables I used for testing. What kind of strobe and gap length are we looking for?
So the strobe length should probably be... So what did we do for hyperdops again?
Oh, for ultra dops.
Yeah,
what
ultra
is it
dops.
called? Let's see. Ultra dops had a timing of. Oh, I don't have it listed. Let me go find it. Ultra dops had 1 millisecond on and 3 milliseconds off. And so it was very high density brief dops.
So
Yeah,
it
like even
should
smaller than ultra dops.
basically be 1 on,
Okay.
1 off.
Okay,
until-
that'll basically be a ribbon.
So
I mean,
it basically
just-
should be ultra dops then, except
Okay. Sure.
with the once that hits the gap, it needs to be a little bit longer of a gap.
What kind of gap do you think? Do you want to test it?
Yeah,
I can send you the file.
let's test it out and see what happens.
I'm gonna leave it 100 milliseconds for now,
Okay.
and I will send you the file once it uploads.
Okay. Very cool. Let me find my
Yeah.
data cord. Of course, my data cord is being used on my
Camera.
camera.
Where's
Where's my other data cord?
And yeah, even there are a few tricks for determining what is a data cable and what is not, but they're very inconsistent from my experience. Sometimes you just gotta plug it in and find out. It's pretty much the most reliable way. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna call this Jest mode. And then it's going to be reorganized later to be part of the classic pattern list, because that's the oh no, it'll be a hybrid pattern, which is even better because that list is needing more, and the classic pattern list is quite full.
Quite.
Where is the chat for this? Bulb sets, Jestival, modes. Should I share it in modes? Yeah, modes sounds good. Here is Jest mode. Yeah, with 100 milliseconds is probably a little too long of the off time. But yeah, you will see. Oh, we could definitely, if you want even more closer on that, we could probably reduce the 3 seconds off time just tighter. You let me know. And then if you want to go and modify this together to include that other, the other hybrid part, we can do that next. It's good that we do it in this order, though.
Bro, how is it possible that I have 9 million USB cables and they're all USB-Cs?
That is a new problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is not the typical problem that I've been having.
I'm definitely going for USB-C on all future products, so
Awesome.
there's that.
Is this a data cable?
Excuse me.
Does this work? Please
No.
tell me this works. It's more than just a power cable. I think it's just a power cable, to be honest with you.
one way to find out for sure. Imagine if they made data-only cables. I think they do, but like, what the hell?
It's just a power cable.
It'll transmit data, but it won't charge your device. That would be sad and
Yeah,
sucky.
right.
While we're doing this, I might just zoom in here and start setting up the hybrid part of the pattern. If you need time, I can describe what I'm doing. Like
I'm just just tell us what you're doing, and I'm gonna make a switch here that's gonna solve my problem.
Okay. So, to improve this pattern further, or complicate it, whichever you prefer, to add complexity rather, we're going to be, instead of just doing this cool Jest mode strobe that we've come up with, we're going to be doing this Jest mode strobe on some of the pixels and an entirely different strobe on the rest of the pixels. So in order to keep track of both things, we're going to have two separate timers running at the same time. One timer will entirely be responsible for Jest mode. The second timer will be entirely responsible for the other strobe. And so what I've done here is I've set up a timing loop, basically identical to the one we had before. It's looking at the main clock, it's comparing a timekeeping variable, and it's seeing if it's past our expected duration. Basically, how a timer works is that equation followed by, inside that function, you want your timing tracking variable, which I call prev time 2, or previous time 2, abbreviated. You want it to be updated to equal the main clock. Now basically what this does is once every duration, let's say this at 100 milliseconds, it'd be once every 100 milliseconds, update the timer to match the main clock. So now the
I want to address Dave's question real quick that says, how do you validate your timing? Do you have a fast camera, an oscilloscope, or a logic analyzer? And old Dave, the answer is pretty pattern go burr, make brain go burr, serotonin hit. That's how I analyze the pattern. That's how I validate the timing. We use our eye holes around here.
No, he's right. That's a good way of doing things. But as far as measuring the timings go, in the software here in Arduino, we're indicating how many milliseconds we want to pass. In hardware, it's not always exact. Even though the software says 1 millisecond, the hardware might be processing slow, and so a millisecond on the hardware can be longer or shorter than a millisecond in the code. Unless you're using hardware with timing crystals. Timing crystals really increase the accuracy of the code, the code to reality type deal. I haven't measured how accurate we are as far as like oscilloscopes or any other like technical measurement goes, but the chip that we're using on in the Vortex gloves is a Atmega SAMD21E, which is a 48 megahertz chip, and it has an internal timing crystal which is fairly accurate. So the answer is we don't know how fast in reality these things are going, but they're close to 1 millisecond or 3 milliseconds or whatever we list in the code. Maybe not exact though.
The timing might not be accurate, but at least the ratios are, right?
Yeah, the ratios are pretty spot on because they're all being run on the same processor with the same circumstances, the same discrepancy in its timing crystals, off the same exact timing crystal rather.
Sure. Let me pause you just for let me just pause you for a second. They say it's fixed. I hope it's fixed. I had like three redundant microphones going at the same time for whatever reason, and I just want to double check. Everybody in chat, does this sound good? Does this sound right? Very cool, Kanye. Thank you. All right. So I have now downloaded the thing. Let me just. 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 What the heck is going on with my... There we go. Where's my downloads? Here's my downloads. So now I'm going to drag this into my... Wait, I gotta turn this guy on first. Turn that guy on. Drag it in. Okay, now I'm gonna do the other one. Alright, and Jest mode, you have to, and it's on the first one, right?
Actually, I don't know if I... Yes, it should be on the first one. Definitely.
Whoo! Can already tell that this hits. Alright, let me put one in a glove real quick and see how accurate we got this right off the bat.
For sure. Yeah, you were right though. We could potentially tighten the gaps between the blanks, or between the colors. It's also programmed to an RGB, so you're not going to get your color cycling effect. It's a 3-color set.
Right, you know, but as long as I can see what's happening with the 3 colors, that's what we're going to go for first, is we want to see what's happening. Because once we have the timing down, or once we have the ratios down, then we can figure out if the cycling is working properly.
Yeah, the way I tested that was with a 4-color set, 3 reds and a blue.
Sure.
Because then you only have to watch the blue. Or maybe there's other ways to do it.
Keep your eyes on the blue one as it moves around. Alright. Okay. Got one of these in a glove now.
Nice.
Alright, let's make sure that I'm... Yeah, so the gap needs to be much shorter, and the colors themselves could definitely be pushed together shorter. So...
Sure. Alright, so let's make it 1 on, 1 off, and just see how that looks.
Yep.
For the strobe and gap length.
Give us
and
1
then...
on, 1 off for the bundles, and then 5 off for the gap.
Oh, so really frequent.
Really short, yeah.
Sure. Just only marginally larger than the gaps between the colors.
Exactly. Just barely.
Cool.
And we might even push that down to 3 depending on what the 1-to-1 looks like.
Yeah. Wow, I see. Yeah, this is going to be very different than Ghost Crush, which it resembled Ghost Crush before without the 3-color bundling. Oh, whoa. Yeah, I don't know how you'll feel about it, but it looks really interesting. It looks really cool, actually. Here, I'm sending it over now. Just put there. Doop. Send. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty wild. It's not a ribbon, but it's mostly it's mostly on.
It's mostly on.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Ghost Dops or whatever, or the Ultra Crazy Dops. What was it called? Was it called Ghost Mode? It reminds me of that.
You might be thinking of Shadow.
Shadow, that's it. You're right. I'm crazy.
You're getting ghost lamped. I posted earlier today. I was like, "Are you ghost lamping me? You mean gaslighting? No, too expensive."
Oh my god, that's so bad. Oh, yeah, I like that.
All right, that's in downloads again.
It's in modes.
Modes. Jest but tighter. No, that was innocent, but it's not. It's not.
I thought it was funny.
It's good. Alright, let's see here. Jest but tighter. Open the boy. It does not connect when it's.
Oh, you have to put it into. Oh. Yeah? Excellent. Perfect. Great. Yeah, no further adjustments? Still? Hmm. 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 Oh. Yeah, I'm listening in on the stream and it's like an echo or something? Listening in on the stream? Not me, just the your mic? Not me. Maybe it is me. Oh shit. Not an echo. Oh, static. Oh, static. Maybe. Static of the devil. Maybe it's from the music? Oh, it's when you pull your mic down? Interesting. Life, glove, and the pursuit of happiness. Oh. Yeah. Oh. It's bad, like when you talk instead of words. When you talk instead of words. Do you have like a webcam mic? Yeah, he sounds okay in Discord. Oh, I don't know if I'm on the stream anymore. Oh, that's bad. No, I don't hear anything now, but I saw your lips moving. No, I don't hear anything now, but I saw you. Crunchy. Deadly. Deadly. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's crunchy. Oh, now I hear it on Discord too? Yeah, because I muted the stream. Hmm. Yeah, perhaps one of your other microphones, like built-ins. Hmm. Oh no! Now I hear on Discord, and it's bad. It's like. Ouch. That one is also nasty. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good on Discord. But it doesn't sound good on the stream. I heard the line come out of Discord great, but on the stream not so good. Snaps is saying the digital audio capture. Change it on OBS. Audio capture. Change it on OBS. Audio capture. Hmm. That's a pain. Oh man, that was frustrating. Discord's good. Stream's bad. Stream's bad. Stream's bad. Some of the echoes are from me unmuting the stream and then my computer picking up my audio listening to the stream. I'll stop unmuting the stream because that's confusing. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in again? Yeah.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
Oh, did that maybe work? Oh, did that maybe work? That's my echo, sorry. Volume low. But that sounds better than what we had before.
Testing, testing. Bro, technology's so fucking weird.
Yep.
You guys can hear me and it's clear now? Can I get a confirmation?
A little more louder, says Snaps. Yeah. But audible. It is okay. Sounds like we're back in business.
Alright. So it's telling me my bit rate's low. You guys can see and hear things going on though, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like on the stream part, I see visually good. Unless you mean like audio bitrate, if that's the thing. I don't know.
All right,
Bitrate.
ladies and gentlemen, we managed to figure it out. Just put it in rice, I guess.
Well, these things happen.
All right, so where were we?
We were testing another update with the time. No, you already got that. Did it, right?
Yeah,
tested
so I
the-
got the update. I was looking at it, and then the stream started bugging.
Totally.
So this is 1-1.
That's 1-1. 1-1 and 5 for the gap time. 1 on, 1 off, 5 gap.
Is there any way to even make it smaller than 1-1?
Yeah, yeah. We can make it a duration of 0. For which part? The gap strobe size or the gap size?
The strobe size.
Make the strobe size even smaller.
Yeah, so the flash, make the flash even thinner.
Yeah, the once you get to setting it to 0, you get to some weird behavior sometimes. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Put it
But
to 0, 1, 3 and see what that looks like.
0, 1, and 3. Oh, okay. I have 0, 1, and 5. Yeah, that's probably going to be very, very Ribbonish.
Alright guys, I'm about to plug in this power cable again. So if everything goes to shit, we know what the problem is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready?
What do we got?
Did
Good?
it go crazy? Can you still hear me good?
Crazy? Can you still hear me?
Sounds good. Sounds good. I just
Alright.
checked it for a moment.
Cool.
The fuck was that noise? Uh-oh. The fuck was that?
That was just me plugging in the cable.
Okay. Looks like we can confirm is delicioso. Come on. Let's see. Okay. Did it work? Can we blend it? Yeah, it basically looks like ghosts now. Ghost stops or whatever.
Let's take a look.
No, Shadow, I'm sorry. I did it again. But I will send it to you and let you be the judge.
Alright.
Sending. Right, meow. Yeah, I can't tell. The strobe sizes might have gotten a tiny bit smaller. So when you set it to 0 milliseconds, the reason there's weird behavior because there's always going to be a difference of 0. So you might as well just remove the timer entirely and just flip the on and off every iteration of the loop. And we can do that. It might even speed it up a little more, but not much. There's a limit how fast the lights
This
can
is
go
it.
too.
This is correct.
You got it? You like it?
Yeah. The gap might need to go back to 5.
Okay. Yeah. Then it's very
But
clearly.
this is the correct answer.
Okay. Cool.
This is
cool.
this is the assignment right here.
I understood the assignment. Wait, is that how it
Yep.
goes?
Yep.
Yeah, you put those little 5 gaps in there. It'll be like. It'll definitely be. You can
Maybe put it to 4 first. I want to see it at 4 because I
4?
know that 5 was maybe just a little much. Put it at
Sure.
4 and I want to see what that looks like.
4 milliseconds later. Oh yeah, with the 5 you can definitely see the groups. It was already uploading when you said to 4, so I just switched it to 4 right now. It's uploading. And then yeah, we'll be able to pretty easily. I've already got the foundation laid out with the second timer. We'll be able to pretty easily turn this into the hybrid version once we've locked in these timings for certain.
Nice. So basically, then the hybrid version, the second mode, will be the exact same grouping, but instead of a 4 gap, it'll have like, I don't know, let's say a 69 gap. Something really wildly long, so that it just
okay,
flashes
so it's
at
not
you.
just one of the other traditional patterns. Here, let's first just for MS gap. Okay, send that. Okay, here we go. Here's the 4 milliseconds gap time, which is very, very close to what you already have, but just a teeny hair bigger gap.
Touch different.
And then, so you're saying you want another grouping style pattern with like tight gaps and then a large gap, but
so yeah,
different times.
Literally just use the exact same coding, except instead of it being 4, it's going to be much longer for the groupings.
Okay.
And we're going to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah. And then we'll just figure out which fingers, and I'll make another count variable because each one will be processing at a different speed because of the different timings.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll need to have each section of the pattern will have to keep track of its count separately, I think. Yeah, because now we're getting real spicy with the possibilities. And then we'll have to have a second color tracking, but that's all doable. How's that?
Yeah, looking at it, it is definitely the 5. Because with 4, any shorter than 4, you're not getting groupings. You're just getting a pattern.
Totally.
So.
Sounds good. Putting it back to 5, which is the previous update you had, I think, maybe?
Wasn't it Jest but tighter? Well, didn't we have Shadow was 3, so Jest but tighter was the wrong.
I'm just sending it again, just uploading and sending. To be certain, TBC. Okay. This one's gonna be just. Oops. Give me back the mode. Yeah, definitely. You get much more sense of groupiness with the 5 milliseconds, and the 4 just kind of disappears.
Yep.
Okay, just 5 ms. There we go. 2 modes. Jestival dome. That's not where I want it. I want it in modes. Send me modes. Okay. So now we have the Jestival mode with the Jest mode with the right timing. What fingers do you want this first pattern to be displayed on? Or what pixels, rather?
Tips.
Okay.
Tips.
So that'll be our odd pixels. What I'm going to do is I make this little equation here. It's a for loop. And what it does is it creates an integer called a. It starts it at 0. Then it checks if a is less than the number of LEDs.
Yeah, this is correct.
Which is set elsewhere in the code. And then it runs again and adds 1 to a. And in this loop, we are going to set the LEDs. Set LED A. So this would set all the LEDs. But instead, what we're going to do is check if the LED is, if A is even or odd. So this operation is called modulo. It is a percentage sign, and what it does is it divides the first number by the second number, and then it returns the remainder. So if you modulo 2 anything, and if it equals 0, it's even. If it equals 1, it's odd. And that's how you can easily determine even and odds. and you want the tips, which are odds, because the tops are the evens.
Interesting.
Just so happens. Yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah, this line, if A modulo 2 equals 1, set LED A. So basically it's saying if the current iteration of A is even, or is odd, set it. Otherwise, don't. So now we have that working for just the tips. And I'm also going to set it to clear specifically those. Clear light A. Cool. So I have that A modulo 1 thing. And then we're going to have a second timing, and it's going to flip on equals not, or on 2 rather. On 2 equals not on 2. And if we're not on 2, then we will get next color 1 with a 0, because we have 2 separate color counters, one for the first pattern and one for the second pattern. So if one is on the second slot and one is on the first slot, they won't conflict. Otherwise they would conflict, like when we go to this next slot and then you interrupt the other pattern. Anyway, count 1 plus plus. This is equivalent to saying count 1 equals count 1 plus 1. But count plus plus is a faster way of typing it. But count 1 plus plus. And then if count 1 is greater than or equal to 3, reset count 1 to 0. Oh, count 1. And that should be everything we need for the timing loop, or for the counting, sort of. We also need, if it's not on, for the duration to be different if count equals 0. Count 1 equals 0.
Dave says there's no way I could code with 5 people watching me. Yeah, well, Shane's just built different, alright?
Oh, code with people watching? That's funny. Yeah, I'm actually, my advantage there is I'm not professionally trained in any way whatsoever. So, I'm kind of like perpetually embarrassed, so there's nothing to be further embarrassed about.
Wait, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but so let's see if this works. What timings would you like for the top strobes?
Top strobes, so it's gonna have the exact same timing of 0, 1.
0, 1. Okay,
but
0.
Instead of the next one being 4, it's gonna, let's start with like 20 and see what happens.
Okay. Well, what I predict will happen, I'll set it up right now, but what I predict will happen is, since 5, which is the tip gaps, and 20 are multiples, or 5 is a multiple of 20. Yeah, that's the way to say that. Basically, every 4th blink, you'll get a second group. When all the fingers flash. So every 4th group will be a bigger. What happened? Oh, I forgot the second equals sign. So there's a difference between equals and equals equals. 1 equals is assigning a value. So if you say A equals 2, you're saying A now holds the value of 2. But if you say A equals 2, it's a question. It's saying, is A equivalent to the value of 2? It sounds like a weird discrepancy, but one is for checking true or false, and the other one is for assigning a value. Count 1 was not declared. I think it was. Oh, no, it wasn't. It's count 2. Okay, everywhere I put count 1, it should say instead count 2.
Finally got these things in the gloves.
1.
And now once I get them on my hands, you're going to be like, alright, so this next update's ready.
Yep. It's loading now, unless I've made any other careless mistakes. But yeah, so what I predict is that it will have exactly what it's doing now, but half the brightness, because only half the lights will be doing it. And then every fourth blink will be the current full brightness. But if you set these timings different, what is going on? Duration 1. Is it supposed to be duration 2?
See, the way this looks, the way this comes off is it literally looks like you're wearing
3D glasses?
3D glasses.
That's what I love with RGB on Ghost Crush or Dops Crush or whatever. Yeah, that's what I think we called Ghost Crush. It's very similar concept, but more blinkier. There's like very big gaps between each group. But yeah, I love the RGB with the really, really tight strobes. It makes no sense to the eyeballs in a good way.
Yes.
Are we having an error or did that work? Please mode work for me. We have people to entertain.
That's a broken wire. Oh, good.
I'm working on the wires.
These V1 wires are killing me.
Yeah. Are you still haven't worked through them all?
I have. Well, I still have a couple replacements, I think. But
Makes sense.
yeah, they just keep like popping, basically one at a time.
Yeah, that's to be expected. They're all a similar age, and any surviving ones are only getting older and more worked.
Right.
So that'll happen. But I have, with the new shipment of wires, with the V2 wires that are already improved in strength, probably only marginally, but you know it's better than the originals. And I have several experiments for potential V3 wires.
Okay.
And V3-ness is really only a this is wrong. This is not right. The V3 wires is it's technically V3, but I still consider it all V1. Because they're not significantly different. They're only increasingly strong and durable. It's hardly a new version, in my opinion, but that's semantic. Why don't we have all the lights clearing properly? Let me switch this back to clear all and see what happens.
Okay, replacement wire in. See how long this lasts. This really is a dream come true to see this set get built this way.
That's good.
I've been asking. I have been asking for this for so long. So if I program 5 colors right now, do you think it'll just work already?
Yes, it should. The one you have, it absolutely should.
Okay, we're gonna. Do
okay, so this appears to be not working correctly. Actually, now that I think about it, it's bundling them, it's grouping them, but it's now really big gaps. What happened? Well, we have duration. That's all good. We've got duration 2. Duration 2. Aha! I found you, bug. Squash. Yeah, that should have been it. Oh, lots of stuff going on in chat yet.
Let's see what we got here. Is the plug for the Vortex USB-C? It will be. Will the release product be by USB-C or will it be micro?
It will be micro in the future. In a like a version 2, like a pro expert revision in a year or more, there will be absolutely USB-C. But the current version is unchangeable, not changeable. Words.
Yo, this is crazy.
Is it doing it?
Yeah, it's doing it. And you can see it happen in front of your face, and it's crazy.
Good. Oh
my god.
That's a lovely reaction. Why do I feel like the gaps got bigger? Is your camera? Would you say your camera is highly accurate, or?
I don't think it's accurate right now. I think
Okay.
I think I have to check my f-stop.
Well, that's okay. I'm just asking because I also am getting a similar gap size to what your camera is displaying, but it's probably a bug. Why am I getting this wrong now? Let me remove some of this extra stuff. Sorry, I'm having trouble introducing the second section with all that fun fanciness.
It's pretty accurate actually.
Okay. Oh, there. Yeah, that looks a little different now. That looks a lot more. Oh, and that looks different now. Interesting. It seems to be based on how you're holding the gloves and how fast you're shaking them. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a big. Very cool.
Snap says crowd. Shane, aren't you shy and embarrassed? That's my secret,
Yeah.
Captain. I'm always shy and embarrassed. That's funny.
Basically.
Just thinking, when you hook it to your mobile, you could build an app to connectly direct it for a simple GUI interface, for example. Interesting.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It would be very simple. I think that's a project for you, sir.
Wow, that'd be so simple for you to do.
No, I'm just goofing. Yeah, it's actually really complicated to build apps, and I have been discussing a GUI app. It would be very cool. It would require a full rebuild of the product, though. There's software. The full software firmware would need complete rebuild from the ground up. There's no compatibility with like a variable vector style software at the current moment. But it is possible. It would just have to be started from scratch. How are my modes grouped? That's a kind of a vague question. The modes are grouped in lists, but that's probably not what you're asking.
We have Dr. Freeze, aka the Lighthouse, in the chat at the moment, saying SoCal Glovers, Gloving Meetup, South Beach Park, Santa Monica. Yo, jump in the Discord real quick, bud. Come on in.
No.
Christian, jump in the Discord.
Yo, what up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo.
All right, nice.
Are you are you camera worthy? There he is.
Yeah, good.
All
What's
right.
good?
So tell us what's up.
Yeah, so this Saturday, if you guys live in California, Southern California, I'm hosting a gloving meetup in Santa Monica. It's this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And it's going till like 10 or whenever people want to come out or hang out till. But it's right on the beach. It's like right above Venice. It's a really nice area. They host like a lot of flow events there already. So like I'm gonna be out there. Mumbles is coming out. I know Sharky said he's gonna come out. We got some OGs coming, and then also You Got Moves sponsored this event.
That's
with
right.
Their 10 gloves. They're giving out 10 pairs of whites for free for the first 10 people that get there. So if you guys come there, if you guys show up early, you're getting a free pair of whites.
Awesome. Wonderful news. We love to hear more events coming and in-person gloving meetups making a return now that people want to get out of their houses and start doing stuff again. So we love to see it. Thanks for all you do with your content and with your leadership in the community. We appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you for like hosting these lives all the time, and like everything that you do for the community too is super dope. And yeah, appreciate you having me on so I could just shout out the event. Thanks for the time.
Heck yeah, brother. We'll get you on for a full interview and a full stream one of these weeks coming up here soon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll do it. We could talk impacting, we could go over some things.
excellent. Love to hear it.
All right, dope. Peace.
Bless.
Okay, I think I have it working now. I feel like the timing has been messed up. Oh, that was weird. Yeah, trying to add this second layer is adding some complexity somewhere that I haven't properly set. as a hybrid pattern. I have to simplify it and then elaborate upon it. Doing it all at once usually leads to these confusing errors that are hard to find, if that makes sense.
It does.
So this is fine. I'm gonna eliminate anything regarding the count.
Yeah, it's really trippy trying to watch this thing change its like groupings.
Yeah, that's good. This one's just gonna say, I'm just gonna set the LEDs, these LEDs. No, that's already doing that. Why does it not work? What is simpler? I will say get color 0 and see what happens there. That'll be very clear. It'll be a big old red. Yeah, the strange part is including the second timer is messing with the first timer, and they shouldn't be interacting in any way. Oh yeah, that's weird. That's real weird. It's working, but then it's like doing all this. Haha, I'm here and then I'm gone. It's whoa. Yeah, bug galore. Well.
Trying to find some of those young bug fixes live and on the spot.
Yeah, bug fixing is very exciting sometimes. Just like now. The tricky thing is combining the two patterns. So just for practicality's sake, what if we replace the second hybrid strobe instead of with an additional Jest mode with something simpler like a DOPS or a blinky or a strobe?
We could do an SOS blink, and that would just essentially do like an idle
SOS
blink.
blink.
Like an idle blink. Something that just flashes at you.
Let's get the timings for that. So let me try and rewrite this so it's ready for that. So we don't need that count variable or this. If it's not on, we are going to index the color. That's good. It is going to get color. Oh, is that what I did wrong? Maybe. Let's see. Get color 1. Wait. Now I'm very confused. Is there a get color 1? No, there isn't. It's just get color. Current color 1. Okay. Current color 1. Okay, so now it will be setting the odd lights with the duration. What do we want to give it? We said, well, how long is a signal blink on time?
How long is the signal blink on time?
Yep.
Like very short, just flashes at you. I think it's just like
1 millisecond.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how long is the signal blink off time? It's incredibly long, right?
Yes, it's like 50 milliseconds or something like that.
50 milliseconds. Okay. Let me try that and see if it gets us our result. Oh, that's not right there. That would make sense why we were getting weird results. We want these on the... What? Set LED this. There. Okay, I think I found an error. On, off. These are odds. And then we want on 2 to be on evens, which is the tops. That's probably why I was getting really weird behavior. That makes a lot of sense. I might be able to repair it. Yeah, see, usually when I start with a simpler pattern and elaborate upon it, I'm more likely to catch these tiny errors that become so...
Look at the oh my god, dude, you can see it in the camera. Holy crap.
Oh, you're right. You can see like the different groupings.
You can see the grouping so well. Oh my god, dude, I'm so...
Hung indeed. Well hung. Ooh. Oh wow. Wow. Oh, did you do like a large set of colors?
I did 5 colors.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. It looks like a set that's changing sets.
Right?
Yeah. It looks like somehow you're reprogramming it and without interrupting. Yes. At least to
I'm
yeah.
cheesing so hard at this. This looks so good, my guy.
Well,
and the way the static idle changes too. Look at that. Mm.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It kind of it's almost like a morph.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I'm so pleased.
Okay. I now have gotten the signal blink one working, but it's definitely too fast to be considered a signal blink. I'm going to give it one more try as the original concept, now that I found that bug when I was changing it, and see if we get a better result. Otherwise, we'll just have to go back to the signal blink version. So we're going to go here. We're going to go count 2. Is it count 2? Count 2. Count 2 plus plus. If count 2 greater than or equal to 3. Count 2 equals 0. And then up here, if not on, we want if count 2 equals 0, duration equals 20. Excellent. Please work for me, sir. Ooh, that looks really cool.
Just literally sitting here and just looking at the colors change is so cool. Oh my god.
This is great. Fantastic. Uploading. What do we got, Chief? What do we got? Come on. Oh.
Take this opportunity, guys, to hydrate yourself because you are a walking sack of water and you need to refill. Also, smash the like button and share the stream because we have essentially rebuilt Jest mode. And by we, I mean Shane.
With the power of teamwork and Shane.
Literally.
So it's basically working, but there is like an errant streak like we had in one of our earlier modes we were fixing before, where it doesn't clear all. Oh, I know what to do. I will have it clear all before, and then oh ho ho, and then oh just you wait, and then I think this might do the thing, and it might be the thing. And if it is the thing that does the thing is done.
I'm really excited.
Me too. Me too. Did I? Oh, I did something silly. But I will fix it. Oh, is that still got a red streak? That's wrong. That's wrong. Nuh-uh. No. That's wrong too. This. Oh, that might be it. It's not doing a streak. It's actually got the wrong.
This honestly has no right to be this cool.
Just wait. We might be just wait. Just you wait.
It really does look like a Jestival, like a festival of jesting, a jesting festival.
We will jest. We will jest for our lives. Yeah, I think I had an error here. I thought it wasn't clearing the lights, but actually I was setting the wrong duration variable, which caused it to extend one of the strobes the appropriate amount, but I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't supposed to be doing that. It just did it right the wrong way. Oh.
It was listening, but you weren't telling it the right things.
Yes, that's exactly right. Okay, now we have that thing I was imagining earlier where it's like it looks exactly like it does normal, exactly like the one you have, except for there's like a 1 every 4 flicker on the nails instead of all of them going at once. Here, I'll send it.
I'm excited.
Double Jest. It's almost as good as Double Bubble. Actually, Double Bubble's not that good. I take it back. Double Jest is much better than Double Bubble. It's back to RGB as well, so I apologize for
That's okay. That's all right.
sacrificing that
It's easy
lovely
enough
color
to add
palette.
two. It's literally 2 colors. I added purple and gold. That's it.
Excellent. Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
All right, so I've got to plug this in. That's what I'm doing.
This is good. This is good. This was a slightly complicated mode, but it was mostly because of the errors I introduced.
Where did that cord just go? Bruh.
So another interesting thing we can do, just while we're here talking about it, if we make the duration of this new secondary strobe not a multiple of 5, then you'll get desynchronization between the two, and it'll basically insert itself between strobes rather than simultaneously with every occasional strobe. Like, you know, like
I'm not sure so you'd have to program it with different colors, or
no, it would just be, instead of making the gap duration for 1/5 and the gap duration for the other
I
one,
get you. I get you. Okay.
yeah,
that
we'll
makes
make it
sense.
like 5 and 13 or 5 and 23. It's something that's not a multiple of 5, and then they'll desync, which could create a better effect. It might not. It might be already good. It might be better synchronized. Who knows?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Cool. So every 4th blink or every 4th group blink, there will be a group blink on all fingers, essentially. Yeah.
It looks so good.
I could have written that easier, but this way works too.
It looks so good, and it just looks like it's static is just literally flickering at you. Oh,
Yes,
so
yes,
gorgeous.
it's got that flickeriness, and so it doesn't really look as much ribbony when you're idling.
I kind of want to see it
Different timing?
just a little longer. Maybe let's throw the 69 millisecond in there just to see what happens, just for the memes.
On the gap time?
Just for the memes. Got to do the 69. Nice.
69. Jest mode. I mean, shouldn't Jest mode have a 69 in it somewhere?
It should probably have a 69 in it somewhere. I mean, let's be real here.
TBH. Yeah, and this will be cool because 69 is not a multiple of 5, so it'll both be that lovely meme as well as the experiment I was suggesting a moment ago.
Right.
And it only desync by 1 millisecond every iteration. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. I don't know about you, but me, yeah.
Just 69 mode.
That is now the name of this file.
Can you throw in a gold and a purple in the default so that I don't have to?
But I already sent it, so I would make it again.
Okay.
Would you like me to do that still?
If you don't
Or
mind.
got it? I got it.
If it's not too much work.
I would just have to look up the values for what gold and purple are, because off the top of my head, I do not know. Oh, whoa, if you start throwing blanks into this pattern, it's going to create crazy shit.
It's gonna start doing some weird stuff with blanks, yeah.
Let's see. I will probably have to program a gold and purple first, or if you still have one, you could send me the string with the numbers in it, and then I can just copy them.
I'd have to like send you this.
It's okay. One of us will win the race.
I think you're
I'm
gonna end
assuming
up winning
gold
the
is
race.
yellow. Is gold yellow or is it like orange gold?
Honestly, yellow, purple. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Yellow,
which versions of the colors. Just
Excellent.
a fourth and a fifth color being yellow and purple.
Okay. Okay. high everything. Oops. And then yeah, just playing with the brightnesses and high, medium, lows and stuff like that is gonna be wild. Okay, so now I am going to share this with myself. Why are you not sharing?
What is the closest way I can replicate this? You can't. You're not gonna be able to replicate this. The closest thing you're gonna be able to get is
one or the other.
the grouping on spectras you'll be able to do. I used to have a version of this mode on the Spectra community hub, but that's long since not working. Realistically, this version with the cycling color groupings, there's no possible way for you to be able to replicate it. Sorry, not sorry. This is the only way. The only way to get it is Vortexes.
There'll be default. There'll be one of the default patterns available, and probably if you program it, a default color set as well.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get you a nice fat default color set. It's probably just gonna add the purple and the purple and the yellow to their RG and B, and call that a day, because that looks really good.
It's got like an idle white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's Jest 69 perp yellow. That's only real G's knows Jest 69 perp yellow.
That's right.
Let me see what this looks like in the dork. All my fingies is backwards. How do you like the finger grip casings?
The finger grip casings.
With the little edges.
I'm enjoying them. Like I said, I think that the
You want
ledges
bigger
need to
ones,
be bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. I've made a variation with very big ledges that I'd like to test.
Okay.
JJ originally suggested that they might be better with the smallest possible ledges.
I disagree with that, and I disagree with that sentiment entirely. I want to see big ledges.
I felt similarly because the more ledge, the more light, and the more grip. There's really and they don't really take up longer than your fingers. Still, even with long ledges.
Sir.
I don't know.
Sir. This is gorgeous.
So yeah, you'll get that. So because the timings are not multiple of each other, every time the top lights blink will be out of sync with the tip light, so it'll be an entirely separate distinguishable strobe rather than just looking like a brighter strobe that's matching with more lights.
Right.
Wait, how do I say that? Instead of more lights strobing together, it'll be light strobing between lights. I think smaller color sets would also make it even more notable. Also, if we want to distinguish the top strobes more from the tip strobes, just a tad, we could change the strobe length. So that they're just a tiny bit different or something like that.
Would you be able to make... I mean, the strobe lengths are already 0, aren't they?
Yes, we can't make them any shorter, but what we could do is potentially make one of them like a millisecond longer.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I want to keep them short. That's kind of the
strobe.
fun of it. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, that's the only thing we could do is eliminate the gap length.
I'm gonna be 100% real with you, Chief. The fact that you can't really tell what's happening with them when they are moving, 100% okay with that. The fact that they're blinking at you like this when it's idle, that's what we wanted. That's what we were going for. So this set is done. This is ready.
Done.
This is it. This is the cheese.
Originally, it was just the one Jest mode would have had to go into the classic pattern list, but now that it's a hybrid pattern, it fits perfectly where it is in the code as the final pattern on the chip in the final list.
Excellent.
We could still rearrange the order of that list, but it's less work for me. Yay!
I love it.
Let me I actually have to extend the list so that it can find it, because right now you only have it on that slot. You won't actually be able to find it in the individual mode lists. And now you will. Cool. Done. Well, you'll have to get the update still, but yeah. It works now. That's the goodness of it. What else? Did I miss anything else? I've changed the stage. This resets. Enter. Yeah, no, that's still right. Everything is good to go. And then, yeah, we have, so as far as the breakdown of everything goes, I'm glad, first of all, that you really enjoy this. That's great. That's fantastic even.
You done good work.
Yes. I'm glad we were able to do it, and we did it on stream, and I only got stuck once.
It wasn't even really much of a stick, honestly. You figured it out pretty nicely, pretty quickly.
Yeah, great. I'm glad you feel that way. I will try and adjust my perspective to feel the same. I get so frustrated when
Honestly,
I get stuck.
my technical difficulties were worse than your technical difficulties, so
I guess we at the very least tied.
let's keep the perspective.
Well, we recovered those too. Today was the day of
Yeah,
epic
bro.
recoveries. But yeah, as far as the modes go now, there are 14 traditional modes, but some of them are new style traditional modes where they're just single light blinking essentially. It's really all the lights blinking together. There are actually click here to check that. There are that didn't help. Wow. Yes. 11 sequenced modes that are doing various random things with changing lights and fingers around on the second pattern list. Then 9 warp style sequences, and a warp style sequence is specifically a sequence where you have motion across the fingers or back or in a circle like that. There's 9 on that list, and now there are 6 modes on the hybrid list. And that one probably will have the most additions, but that totals to 39 modes. No, 40 modes.
40 modes.
Wait,
So you need
39.
20.
40,
So you need
40.
if it's 39, then you need 30 more modes, so that you
It's
can have
40.
69 modes. So I guess you only need
You're
29
right.
more modes, so that you can have
Yeah.
69 modes.
One of the things that people really want, now I notice is probably the most necessary change, is people want just a whole ton of different varieties of hybrid patterns, where they
Yeah.
take one of the traditional patterns
Mhm.
and
Mix it with
merge
another
them
one,
in,
yeah.
and on various fingers and various like layouts, I've been calling them, like maybe tips and tops, or
Mhm.
pinky thumb, index ring and middle, or like thumb, tops, tip. I don't know. There's probably a dozen different layouts at least that would be practical and popular.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be really cool. I can't do it the way it's currently set up because every single mode relies on the same variables to run their timers. And so if you pick 2 different modes and they were both using the same variables for their timers, you'd get chaotic behavior when one mode is altering the timer in one way and another mode is altering it in another. So it doesn't work as is, but if I were to go through my code and redesign all the patterns to be their own classes, where they all have their own instances of variables rather than sharing the same exact variables, because previously only one pattern would ever be going at a time, so you wouldn't really need to, you only need one timer in the whole damn thing, unless the mode needs 2 timers. But yeah, the problem is all the modes would conflict if you use them together, unless I changed the whole format of everything so that it doesn't. But I'll get around to it.
There sounds like there's still a lot of work to be done.
There, I have a feeling that there is no limit to the suggestions that will be made.
Of course, and that's where another programmer is going to come into play, someone who knows a little bit of
Sure.
some of this coding jargon and can get in there and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make some hybrid modes today, and then everybody will be happy.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. There's either we extend the list greatly of what's available on hybrid modes, so people don't really care anymore about making their own, or we extend the capabilities and redevise the code to be compatible with such a thing as variable hybrid modes. I have a user interface in mind already, sort of, but it's still not compatible. It would require somewhat of an overhaul of the way the pattern system works in general, but it would be to the benefit of people reading it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll work together with someone and they'll hold my hand and say, "Here's how you do it, Shane. It's easy. It's just like this." Or maybe I'll face roll on the keyboard. I
was just gonna say, or if you find that person, that's gonna be nice, because I certainly cannot help you with that, unfortunately.
That's okay. There's programmers who've stepped forward and been like, "Yo, I want to work on this," or at least program familiar people. Some professional programmers and software engineer types, and some who are just enthusiastic and have some experience. All of it will help.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have managed to get through making the Jestival mode.
Probably the upper end of complexity. So as far as modes go, it was a novel pattern with two separate parts, making it a hybrid, and each part was a novel pattern, even though they were variations of the same pattern.
Right.
Very complex.
Very complex, and yet you made short work of it. So
I would say on a scale of difficulty for anyone following along, that was like an 8 or 9, probably an 8, a solid 8 out of difficulty. They get much simpler. Like if we were to look at or Ribbon or Strobe, you would see it's only like 4 or 5 lines. Yeah.
Well, thank you for indulging me with a very complex pattern and showing off just exactly how complex things can get, and how you could build something like this with, like I said, showing that code earlier. If people get it, then they get it, and what that means is then they can take that information and be like, all right, here's what I can do. So that's
totally
good.
True.
That's good.
Hopefully people who are curious aren't intimidated by this. I just wanted to give them a frame of reference for difficulty. Like there are, if you're just doing something simpler, it is much easier.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, don't mind me. I'm just sitting here really enjoying the flash pattern here, because now I have a reason to not use hyperdops, because I have a specialty hyperdops.
Yep.
Basically.
It's totally that's another cool thing with dops and strobe and hyperdops and dopish and ultra dops and strobe. They're all essentially the same code with slightly different timings. And obviously that makes sense from a Glover's perspective. They look the same with longer strobes and gaps. Whoa, that's trippy. Is that clusters? What you were doing with the box looking thing? That wasn't clusters.
It's platforms, more or less.
Platforms.
Tuttings and platforms and shapes.
It was crazy. You were just like shifting a box in circles or something. I wish I knew more terminology in the gloving realm. But yeah, that is epic. I love it. Yeah, where is strobe? Let's take a look at strobe. Why not? So,
all right,
for anyone who's
what the chat has to say really quick.
Oh yeah, let's look at chat. Learn UF2. Sure, yeah.
Ryogex says, Ryu Rex, to create a portable gloving setup able to do everything from your phone. That's universal and global, available if done right for the grabs. For the grabs?
Yeah. Well, so yeah. Why don't we talk about the app? Actually, the potential of an app. As far as apps are concerned, when you're talking about a mobile app, you immediately drop into a more complex realm because you're not talking about one app, you're talking about two apps. You need to make one for the iPhone and you need to make one for Android. And then once you're tied into these operating systems, you are beholden to their updates. So just in general, an app would require not only an active developer, but like a continuously active force to keep the app functional going on into the future. You might think to the Spectra app, for instance. I hear that it's not functional on all platforms anymore.
It's not functional at all. Period.
See, so that's kind of the downfall of apps. It's not that they're not good or great even. It's that they require active investment in them in order to keep them going. And that, in my opinion, is a little impractical because the products are almost like period pieces. As they come out, they represent a certain frame of time, and then newer products replace them. You don't need them going forward into perpetuity, I think is the word.
Yeah.
You want them working. You want them working independent of the time frame. So when people go back and use them years later, it doesn't matter what operating system they're on or what a platform they're using, they still can work their product. Otherwise, the product becomes bricked just by time, and that's not cool. That sucks in the future. Will wrap target OS automatically? Oh yeah, there's different programming in mono. Yeah, sure. Programming in certain languages and certain frameworks will allow you to make both apps simultaneously, somewhat easily, but it still doesn't prevent that support issue I was talking about. At least I don't know a way of doing that. If there is, that's cool, and we should do that. But it's a scam. I think yeah. Unless scam is a different word than scam. I think it's a scam. So here's my counter. Desktop apps are not as good because you don't get the portability rather. But they are really stable, which is really cool. Sure, desktop and mobile. So what I was thinking is, wouldn't it be cool if there was, well, I guess that's not really for this version. If there is going to be an app, I would wager making it on the desktop first would be the best move because it would be the most stable and the most accessible, and porting a desktop app to mobile could be done using clever things like Python or something that's not super operating system dependent, like someone was saying mono. I'm not familiar, but it sounds like it could totally be a solution. But yeah, what else are we saying? Support is more difficult on iPhone, yeah. Yeah, exactly. With Android, which is what I have an Android, it's much easier than working in the Apple ecosystem in my current level of experience. But yeah, desktop first. A lot of people in the chat are saying, yeah, desktop first. There is I already have a working desktop app. I built it in Python about 2 years ago, long before this product existed. It was for the Vortex Orbit, and what it does is it allows you to, using GUI, pick colors, and then pick a mode slot, pick a pattern number, and then send it to the device. And it actually is already compatible with the gloves. I tested it the other day with Kurt in a video chat, which it's really cool, but there were some problems with it, which is why I put it down and never finished it. When it loads a preview of what you already have on the device, the Orbit in this instance, or the gloves, it doesn't seem to load accurate colors, and correcting them in both directions was kind of going to be complicated. So that, paired with literally no one asked for it and no one complained or wanted it. Like here we have people asking, can I have an app? Can I have an app? I want a desktop app. I want a mobile app. For orbiting, people were like, app? Question mark, dot, dot, dot.
For why though?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what I would never, they're like, I can press a button just fine. Like it it's so interesting how the attitude was so dramatically different. From
Well,
the
there's
different
so much more complexity even in just the idleness of what your lights are doing. So like orbits are very rarely ever idle, and so you need color and strobe, like color and cap length.
It's something similar with orbits, but it's like more of like it's similar but different. Yes, gloves have idle and then motion. Orbits have speed, like high speed motion, and then rotation, which is a different kind of motion, which is kind of comparable to the idle. It's not idling, but it's kind of two different styles of motion with two different effects with the same exact pattern, if that makes sense. So there is a sort of analog there, but the real pain in the ass with orbits is there is no clear, simple, easy way to display a preview of what's happening on an orbit. The orbit is the preview device in most cases. Or you have to upload and then look, and then upload and then look, and that's not a great workflow.
No, definitely not.
With the gloves, there's more practical possibilities for how to display previews, but I never really built a preview system. That would work and would show anything. I was actually having trouble just getting the color accuracy. So I can actually show it off. We have like 5 minutes. Should I show it off?
Sure.
Really quick, the
Go for
prototype program.
Yeah.
Here, let me end this stream. And let me find the program. It is in this folder, I believe, somewhere. Software development, Python, Arduino. That was it. Okay. Run. It's alive. Okay. I'm going to share it. Here is the pattern builder, is what I called it, but it's really not a pattern builder or anything. It's just a tool. It's a tool for seeing what you have currently on your mode.
Oh, you're live. I should probably pull up what you're doing.
Yeah, can you share that for me?
Yep. 1 second. All right.
So it's really simple. It's just a little GUI. GUI, for those of you who don't know, most of you do. It's a graphical user interface. I forgot the first word. I was like, what is the first word? Graphical user interface. It's like drop-down menus, checkboxes, all those fun things. So what this does is you find the device plugged in. This is the device for my glove. And then you click load. It says orbit, but it really doesn't know there's a thing called gloves in the future. And then you click the button on the orbit and it sends. So what just happened was it loaded all of the color sets that are currently programmed on the glove set. This is slot 0, 1, 2, 3. It starts at 0. 0 is the first one.
Goofy user interface.
Yeah, goofy user interface, exactly. Yeah, totally. For goofy users exclusively. But yeah, so it's supposed to load the colors into these slots. But if you look at the colors that it's loading, you can see that the colors are kind of dull and muted and kind of
not
darker.
Accurate. Yeah.
Yeah,
They look like
really
they look like
poo-poo.
Like what's
Muddy.
muddy? Yeah, the word like it's showing blacks and browns rather than like light.
Yeah. They're not vibrant.
Right. It looks like not light additive. What's the other word?
Oh, it looks like pigment, like additive
Pigment.
colors.
Yeah, pigment instead of light additive. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, so it's a pretty simple app. It's just for like quickly editing things. So this is the slot you're talking about. Let's click slot 0. This is the pattern number I'd like to assign it. It only knows of 20 patterns, although there are now like 40. So let's say I click this pattern number, and then it asks me how many colors are going to be in this pattern. I'll say 5. Then here's the current slots. I have, I'll even change the colors. If you click it, it brings up a pattern menu, and this has 14 million colors. Most of these colors are not available on the lights. Most of them are not visible on the lights, except for the 144 meaningfully different ones I've selected. There's probably about 256 meaningfully different ones. But you can really select any color. So let's say I want like a red. I'll do how do I do here? I'll just put the saturation 255, and there we go. That's yeah, 255. There we go. So now I got a red. I'll leave that purple. I'll take this slot, make it a white, and then I'll take this one, and I think black is blank. I can't even remember how I handled that. I don't even know if I even got that far. Here, I'll just put pink instead. And then I click send, and I'll hold up my gloves while I click it. So let me turn off the light so you get kind of an idea. So I'm going to go send, and boom. Now we have this color set instantly on the gloves. And
Magic.
you can see it looks like just a red and a white. I'm not seeing purple or teal or anything, and that's from bugs. But even still, if I were to disconnect this, I'm gonna relaunch this app really quick, so you might lose it. I'm gonna load the colors up, and you'll see that they're different. And so it's mostly bugs, but it's partially from an issue. Let me start the stream again. Streaming again.
Make sure you guys smash the like button if you haven't already. Let's get us above the 10 like mark.
Oh yeah.
I know that we haven't really been, smashing records like we did when we introduced this glove set. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Progress isn't linear. Growth isn't always linear. So we're okay with that. What we do want to see though is a little bit of what's that? Algorithmic stimulation, so that the YouTube likes the fact that you guys are watching me and maybe shows it to other people. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So I just really quickly tried to reload the set we just loaded onto the gloves, and I got some real weird error. It's not even showing everything right, but for a brief moment, I think it did show the right colors, and it's kind of hard to tell. I could probably go into this app and make it better and maybe people actually want that now. What's really cool about it is it's not it doesn't require installation. It's just like double click and open, because it's made in Python, and you can compile it or something. I forget the term. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so this app could be cleaned up a bit and made to work, but it still is very fundamentally limited. It's just a color picker basically. Yeah, you can build the app, exactly. That's the term. Yeah, so it's really just a color picker, a glorified one. And if I can get the color accuracy to be correct, and maybe if there was no bugs, it would actually pull and push the correct colors. But yeah, I just never got it to that point. No one was asking for it, so it was just a fun experiment to see if I could do it, because I never built a desktop app before.
So if there's enough interest, we can certainly look into doing something like that, huh?
Yeah, it can be improved, but I think people want something more elaborate than this. So this would really just be like kind of
probably true.
Yeah, because this just lets you pick the color set, pick the patterns, and also it doesn't limit you to the colors that are available. So if you tried to wirelessly share a mode that was created here with the colors created here, you wouldn't be able to share the colors. It would pick adjacent colors rather than the ones you actually picked.
Makes sense.
So it would actually allow you to pick colors that aren't normally available, like all the colors, but not share them.
Weird.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the app.
Very cool.
Fun little project from the past.
Well, if it turns into something for the glove set, that'd be pretty cool. But honestly, the way you've made the interface with just color changes, and the way that you've set it up so that anybody could actually go in and program.
Yeah.
If they know what they're doing, of course. Yeah, that's really good enough for starters. Because most people who aren't going to be able to go in and program are just going to be able to, all they're going to want to do is change colors and patterns, not necessarily program new ones, I think.
Yep. Definitely, I tried to get what's on the chip out of the box with no additional accessories or components or hubs or apps or anything. With that, I tried to get it really, really solid, really, really functional, and really easy to use. Everything beyond that, I think, is definitely stretch goal, bonus, future stuff, community development, teamwork, all that.
Sure. Well, you've done the Lord's work thus far, and we're right about at our time. We are at an hour and 57 minutes into our stream. Probably gonna give it another few minutes just talking here, but if you have anything else you want to tell us, now would be the time.
The
5-minute warning. Never saw the wait. Never saw the toe socks. Listen, you guys are gonna get the toe socks, but you're gonna have to be patient, okay? Degenerates.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, chat really enjoyed the brainstorm here. Seems like y'all enjoyed watching the data entry session, the glorified, very, very glorified data entry session here. The coding was on point. I appreciate what you've done in this short amount of time in order to build this masterpiece. It looks really, really, really freaking good.
Awesome.
Cannot express how excited I am. I'm gonna probably record with this weekend and show it off. And you've got it built into the defaults already, maybe?
I've added it to the pattern list, but I don't think I sent that update to you. I have it as the default slot 1 because that's what we were working on.
Right.
So why don't I just re-upload that really quick so that you'll be able to program it from the menu rather than only having it on slot 1 and transferring it. Let's see. Yeah, uploading now. And yeah, we'll probably rearrange the default slots before it launch.
Cool.
But
well,
yeah,
I dibs within the first 3. Jestival mode should be within the first 3. Dibs.
I think the very first slot will have a traditional RGB set because that's my favorite. I don't know what mode, but I think RGB is a great way to kick things off.
You should do color wheel, RGB color wheel on the first mode. Is what you should do.
Oh, for the blend one?
Yeah, that blend pattern. That's
basically rainbow.
Yeah,
it is rainbow.
Yeah.
We can do that. Yeah.
You should do that because that one is gorgeous, and it is as synonymous with the Vortex original Vortex as possible. I think. Nice.
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
But yeah, either second or third for Jestival mode, please. Thank you.
Yeah. You can have second. I think JJ wants the third slot for whatever he programmed.
Cool.
Which works for me. It works for you guys. It works for me.
All right. Well, as soon as you said you got it into the menu already, right?
The pattern list. I'll send that right now. It's uploading. The port was busy from when I was showing off the little Python app.
Cool. All right. Well, that'll about do it because now we got it in the list. We got it uploaded. Anyone with a Vortex set can go in and pop that shit in their glove set. Gorgeous work. At this point, we are going to wrap up the stream. So, Shane, once again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your efforts. Everything you've done for this glove set is just absolutely above and beyond the Call of Duty. If there was a Medal of Honor for gloving, you would get it. I am not the president of gloving, however, and so I do not have that authority. That being said, realistically, you're going to get so many blessings from doing all of this hard work, and I'm excited to see that happen for you.
Thank you.
As for the rest of you Jesticles, you Jesty Besties, for showing up on a Thursday and being here to support the stream, I appreciate you. I will never not appreciate you. So basically, just remember all of the things, all of the links that we said today. YouGotMoves.com/Discord. YouGotMoves.com just in general because there's /gloves, /handbook, all that good stuff. But there's also the G3 coming up, which we talked about with Teddy. There's the Santa Monica event coming up with Christian. There's so many cool things going on right now that you guys should remember. So, yeah, share those things with your friends. Share that information with your friends. Share the stream with your friends. We want to grow this stream. We want to get this to be the place that Glovers come every week to hang out and do finger wiggle shenanigans. So,
I appreciate you guys for supporting the vision. And also, don't forget to check out the awesome hoodies over at shopstarborn.com. Code Jest for 10% off, of course. And that'll about do it. Remember to refill yourself if you haven't been drinking your water. And never forget, it's better to be weird than boring. Bye, everybody.